Hi, I am Suna, and today is part 2 of the horror films that I watched in October 2019. You don't have to watch part 1 first. It's basically just a list of films and me talking about them. There's going to be a third part, and that's probably best to watch last because it's going to have a little bit of a summary on the films. It was a first time watch for all 33 horror films that I watched. There are some of the films I will probably do a separate video for, so stay tuned to that. And just enjoy. The Perfection was really released and marketed as a body horror that was going to be just disgusting. And I was embracing myself for that. And I didn't get it. And I'm not necessarily in for that kind of body horror, but I was embracing myself for that, and it went in a completely different direction, and I'm not mad at it, because there has been kind of a hype around it. I don't know how big that hype has been, but there has been some sort of hype around it. No, there was people couldn't watch it, and they had threw up and stuff but there were so many twists in this film, and none of them felt satisfying. I didn't dislike it, I just didn't really like it that much. It wasn't what I wanted it to be. Suspiria is the next one. Suspiria, the original one, the Dario Argento one, the classic, the one that everybody knows. It's a classic. It has a lot of merit to it. This is not my first Dario Argento film, so I knew kind of what to expect because it's a Dario Argento film, because he has a very, very specific style that I know some people might laugh at. There were things about it that I was maybe the story could have been better, but it was more just the way the story was lined out that I was just kind of okay. But it's a great film. So I really need to say it's a great film. I also watched the 2018 version of Suspiria, which is not even the same story. It was directed by Luca. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It was Luca Guadagnino, I think. He also directed Call Me By Your Name, which I absolutely love. I love Call Me By Your Name. And he directed Call Me By Your Name, and then he directed this film. There was a lot of stuff about the remake of Suspiria. The remake of Suspiria has much more of dancing to it. It takes place in a dancing academy, and this has much more dancing in it than the other one does. But it's also 2.5 hours. It's super long. It's at least 2 hours, if it's not longer than that. But the ending is completely different. The outcome is completely different. Where it goes is completely different. And I was just, okay. There are moments where it was literally just okay. And I kind of like it. The ending was a bit weird, and I didn't quite know where the ending was going. But yeah, it was good. I like it. I just kind of like both of them, and because they are as different as they are, I'm okay with that. I watched Pulse, which is Japanese and it's from 2001, where mankind gets eradicated by a computer virus or an internet virus. It's very interesting. It's a Japanese horror film from early 2000s. It's good. I think it might have been remade, actually. I'm not completely sure. I haven't seen the remake. I watched Veronica. That is a Spanish film that is supposedly based on a true story. The first case where basically something paranormal was written in a police report. It's a story of a girl that plays with the Ouija board, and there's a demon that attaches to her, and she gets possessed by a demon. And this is definitely the kind of horror films I want to watch, because they are the horror films that scare the crap out of me. Other kinds of horror films don't really scare me all that much. That's why I like the haunted genre, because they scare me. That is terrifying. And it was good. It was a good film. It was well made. It was a good film. I like it. And then I watched The Omen, the 1976 one, the Gregory Peck one. It was kind of fun watching that, especially because this was the first time I watched The Omen, and I watched Good Omens this summer, and there was so much that I saw that connected the two things. I mean, it is a classic film, and there's a reason why it's a classic film, because it is good. I mean, The Omen is what started the 666 and so many other things. I'm kind of indifferent to I Am Mother. I Am Mother wasn't anything special. I don't know if I'd call it a horror film. It was more of a sci-fi. It's really the only film on the list that I don't know if I'd call a horror film. Final Prayer was very interesting. So you have a camera tech guy and two priests. The priest's job is to go around and confirm or debunk any kind of holy experience. So they go around to see if like this event in this church was a divine intervention by God, or like if it was just fake. They're doing this for the church in the same way that like a lot of, you know, ghost hunters would do for people. And they have this cameraman to kind of record the whole thing. And they are going to this church in the middle of the English countryside, and there's some weird things happening there. And it was a very interesting film. I think that it was a good find. Like it's one of those films that like really, really stands out of the group, and I'm really happy that I watched it and that I heard about it and that I found it, because it used to be called the Borderlands, but it was really good. I really liked it. I'm really happy that I watched it. Bird Box again was a film that had kind of a hype around it. There's a lot of talk about it, and I really liked it. Bird Box was good. I liked Bird Box. It was very interesting to see how everything happened and like what was going on. So yeah, Bird Box was good. I like Bird Box. I think there was Ghost Stories, which again is a British film. That one was interesting. Ghost Stories was about a guy who goes around debunking psychics and then gets handed these 3 cases that his idol, who disappeared, has never been able to prove are false. So he goes and looks into these cases and shit starts happening, and it's just... Martin Freeman is in it. Oh god, it was super interesting. It was very interesting. It was very fun, and yeah, I recommend that film, and it's definitely a good find. Follows. I don't really have a lot to say about the film. It was an interesting premise. I didn't find it particularly bad. I didn't really find it all that good either. The Wailing is Korean and is 2.5 hours long, and it started and it did not stop for 2.5 hours. It just went on and on and on, and it just kept going. It starts just right away and then it just doesn't stop. I think the weird thing was the Christian themes. I like this film. It was good. An Elementary is a Spanish film. It's based on a folk tale about a blacksmith and the devil. It was very interesting. I like the story. It's really kind of all I have to say about it. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The one with Donald Sutherland in it. That Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which was really good. And yeah, that was great. So those were the 14 films that I talked about this week. So the third part is going to be the last part. There's going to be 7 films, and then kind of like a summary of what I was disappointed with and what I really liked. If you're interested in something like this, I kind of want to do this again for October. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do. Maybe I'll be able to do like one film every day, maybe one every other day. I'm hoping it's not going to be just like a film a week, because I kind of don't want to do that. I also have an idea of maybe doing this for other months, like Pride Month or maybe Black History Month or something. I don't know their ideas. If anybody's interested in that, then sure, let me know. And if you have film suggestions, lay them on me. I know I'm going to do a specific video for Final Prayer and The Wailing, and I'm waiting to read the book for Call Me By Your Name before I make a Call Me By Your Name video. And like, that's as far as I know about these range of films. Just seriously, let me know and I'll figure it out. It's going to depend on school though next year, so it's my final year. It might be a bit challenging. I have to write a thesis and stuff, so we'll see what time I actually have. Thank you for watching, and tune in for the rest. Bye.